Hello and welcome everyone to today's cloud coaching session. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tara Van Cleve and I'm a marketing event manager for the developer initiative here at Oracle. Today we're excited to dive into CI/CD using GitHub Actions and Argo CD on Oracle Container Engine for Kubernetes. We'll also be recording the session and the link to the recording will be sent to you via email in the next couple of days. If you have any questions during the webinar, we've set up a channel in our developer public Slack called Cloud Coaching North America that you can access at the QR code here or at bit.ly/odevrel_Slack. Once you're in, you'll land in the general channel, and from there you can search for the webinar channel. We will also be checking the Zoom chat and Zoom Q&A areas throughout, and we'll open up for live Q&A after the presentation. Today's webinar will be presented by Sasanka Abesing, Senior Cloud Engineer, and Christian Arendando, Staff Cloud Engineer. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Sasanka.
Thank you, Tara. So my name is Sasanka Abesing, and I'm a cloud engineer for Coordinate team. Here with me, I have Christian from the cloud Coordinate team as well. So I have almost 16 years of experience in software development. Well, so today I'm going to give cloud coaching seminar on overview of CI/CD pipeline for GitHub Actions, Argo CD, on Oracle Kubernetes. So it's going to be like today's agenda. I will start with GitHub Actions overview, and then I'll go with Argo CD overview and the Oracle Kubernetes engine, OKE overview. And I have like a simple demo for like CI/CD use case for each and everything integrated with CI/CD pipeline. And I'm giving the demo after that. And we have Christian to give coordinate program for overview, and we are going with Q&A. I can see Samuel raised a hand. Tara, you want to go, or are we good?
We're all set.
Yeah, all set. Okay, good. So first of all, why do we need GitHubs? GitHub is kind of an operational framework that's kind of a layer of CI/CD that used for the GitHub repository that takes into the DevOps kind of application development, such as version control, collaboration, and CI/CD, and it go with the deliver as a infrastructure as a code, which is Terraform, Ansible, and those kind of tools. And also, when we're considering about the GitOps, normally the organization can manage their entire infrastructure and application development lifecycle using a single development tool. So that's how it very powerful, where we can declaratively work with Git repositories. And if you have any kind of a repository, if you have any kind of a changes, you can go into the application configuration and provide the version control by using the Git. So normally it's when you come in with the GitHubs, it allows like pull requests and merge requests. So we can work with very easily. So in addition, we can get like a GitOps. We can have a organization take advantages of the using the containers and microservices. Mainly, they can consistently across their infrastructure. And also, if you come with the Kubernetes configuration and Docker images as well, you can instantly do anything on the on-premise or a cloud. So that's the very powerful tool we can get with the GitOps. So the second one I'm going to talk about Argo CD. So it is another very declarative GitHub continuous delivery tool in Kubernetes. So it purposely built for the Kubernetes. And when we use Argo CD in Kubernetes, it configured and create the GitHub repository, and it will consider that a single source for the application configuration, so that delivers in Kubernetes cluster. So normally the Argo CD use the pull model, which whenever you have a changes in the Git repository, it will directly affect with the Kubernetes cluster. So mainly you have like a CI/CD pipeline. If I have the CI pipeline continuous integration in a whatever you like with the version control system, the continuous delivery is mostly based on the Argo CD for this demo. So this is kind of allow you to separate this CI/CD pipeline as CI and CD. So when you're working with the OKE, so we definitely come up with OCIR and OKE. So the OKE, we normally go with Oracle Kubernetes Engine, and for the OCIR, we use as an Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Registry. So the gray area is mainly managed by Oracle. It is integrated with registry and image storage and the container engine. So the customer, mostly the Oracle manage for the HCD and the masternode of the Kubernetes engine, and most of the customers will manage the worker nodes, which is VM based or a bare metal. So if you want to upgrade it to a new version of Kubernetes, it's also supported in the container engine dashboard within OCI. So this is like a seamless integration with how our OCI services in the cloud native world work with OKE cluster. So we do have mostly like a CI/CD and automation. We integrate with the OKE. So we do have a couple of tools like OCI DevOps or Visual Builder Studio, which we can integrate with OKE cluster, and also like identity access management and those kind of a thing we can integrate with the federation of third-party system as well. And also for the network also we can configure load balancers, persistent volumes, and also we can integrate our containing images. And so this is something like a mostly the cloud native technologies we can use with the OKE. So today I'm going to give like a simple demo how the GitHub action works with Argo CD for OKE. So I do have a simple uh, GitHub repo code, which normally the developer commit the code and it will go to the source GitHub repository. So the GitHub, I already have some GitHub actions, which I can show you like how it's going to configure. And from the GitHub action, which mainly do is it's going to build my image and it's going to push it to the OCIR. So, and after that, if I have like a, once you finish with my update the manifest file for my demo, I'm trying to increase the replica set, then it will automatically pull the changes into the Kubernetes cluster. So that's the demo I'm going to give. For a GitHub action with Argo CD for OKE, we have like architecture center. This is kind of a detailed network diagram, how it's going to work. So once you deploy Argo CD, so you can see like many pods deploying to the OKE. So that OKE load balancer is going to connect with Argo CD administrating console, and you can directly hit with the user. And also we have the GitHub repository, which is directly connect with the container registry for the CI continuous integration pipeline. So next, I'm going to give a demo. So I will stop share my screen and share back again. So first of all, what I'm trying to do, I have like a, I will go through the demo first, and then I will go into detail. So I have this is my repository I connected. So I have the repository here, the code, which I have the workflows I define and the application. So I clone into my local. So I do have like all the things like index and Docker files and K8 deployments. So what I'm trying to do, right now I have the KE deployment file. I have only 2 replica sets. So that's the directly you can see 2 replica sets. So now I'm going to change it to 3. I'm going to add and make it commit to 3 replica sets, and I'm going to push my code into the Git repository. So soon I pushed, I can see like you go here, I change action. It's changed it to replica into 2 to 3. So it's going to build and it's taking all the things into the, I have the triage and actions and complete jobs for the triage set steps. And if I go to the build, I can see everything, what continuous integration, how it's going to work. So here you have the first, it will take as a job and taking and install the OCI CLI for the creating the Docker build. And after that, it's trying to log into the Docker. And from that process, it's Docker login are mainly used as a OCIR, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Registry. And those I'm going to push that into the repository. Once you complete that job, I can go into the repository and see the changes. Let me it will go into my demo and I have my registry. It's going to be updated. So this is something what I was trying to do, like a container registry, which I have like a registry. It's updated from the container registry. Yeah, this is the one I already updated. So the one I was just curious, like when we go back again and you can make this one into the, if you have like a index, and I'm going to a deployment, I change back to 1. If you have like a, in case you want to change it to replica set, and if you have like any code changes like index or anything, like I have like a simple web application. So if you want, you can change here as well. It will automatically create the GitHub Actions repository and save it there. So next, I think I'm go here. Yeah, so I was in a different repo. So if I go to the app and I have the K8 deployment, and here I'm going to change it to 1. And I'm going to give git add change it to 1. I think it's a different. Yeah, let me go with this one again. So it git status. I can see I changed index and the K8. And I will change it to replica 1. So I need to go back again and git push. So I'm going to change here, which I change here to the number 2. So you can see like a 2 to 3. So it's already finished the 2 to 3, the triage. So if you go back to the Argo CD, you can see 3 replica sets. So it's already updated. So this is something like what we can set it up in the CI/CD process. So maybe I can change back with the another replica. So that's what I was trying to do. So my first demo, I changed it to 2 to 3. So right now I have 8. I got. So once you change it to, it will change back to the replica 2. So that's kind of a thing. You can do it from the git add. So once you directly ran this one, you can go back again and see another one, change it to 2. So it will take it as those 2 pipelines. And first of all, you run this one and you will get the build. So this is the one I explain it. And if I go back to the code, I can show you how it's going to work right now. So the workflow, CI/CD workflow, how it's going to work. The first one is like whenever you have the push command in the main branch. So this is I'm using the main branch right now. So you can see the main branch. And here I have the build steps, which run as couple of run commands. So then I have like a Docker setup. And after that, I have the install into OCI CLI. So this is I use mainly from the environment files. And after that, I'll get it from go back to the environment, and I'm taking as a parameter. So mainly this is how it's going to work. Like this is the step for the login to Docker, and all the steps what we are doing from the cloud console, it will take as a Docker URL, Docker username and password, and giving the Docker push command for the our object storage namespace, which is right now I'm using the Ashburn. So when you're going into the code, if you go to the settings, so I want to here I want to set up these actions environmental variables, which I use Docker object storage namespace, which I can find it from here. So in tenancy, I can tenancy level, I can go back and copy my object storage namespace. And for the other Docker URL, I use for the Ashburn, I use IAD ocir.io. And for the Docker username, I use my username with my tenancy name /username. And for the Docker password, I create code token, which I use for the GitHub Actions. And for the OCI config file, I use from the API keys, which I already upload. You can see the uploaded GitHub configuration file. This is also I provided. And that's pretty much it for the GitHub secrets. So if you're going back to the Argo CD, so right now, if I go back to the code and the action, I change it to replica set to 2. So it will, you can see it right now. You can see like previously I had 3, right now I have 2. So it will automatically fire the Argo CD pipeline, like a CD pipeline, and make it the changes. So for the Argo CD, it's like a very quick way of installation in the Kubernetes cluster. So if you go back to the Argo CD documentation, we have like there are quick two way of process, like create the namespace and giving the Argo CD installation. So if I go back to my OKE cluster, I have like a OKE cluster running. So I will launch the Cloud Shell. This is a very quick way of you can access your cluster. So you can copy this cluster kube config file. It will automatically create the kube config file in the home directory, and you can access the Kubernetes cluster. So right now I create the master node is public and the worker nodes are private. So if I clear this one and make it, I'm going to connect to the Kubernetes cluster. So if I get like a kubectl get namespaces, so once you run this command, like create the namespace Argo CD and apply, so you can see everything is going to install from the Argo CD namespace. So if you go back to the kubectl get service, Argo CD namespace. So this is the IP which I'm connecting right now. So which you can go ahead and access from the Argo CD console. So this is the normally how you can configure the Argo CD, and you can directly go with that. So this is how normally the CI/CD pipeline it works. And so if you can go back to the code, if you need, you can have any kind of either you can have a webhook, you can set up the webhook and directly you can connect how it's going to work if you have the peer push command. So that's pretty much it for the coding, the CI/CD platform, because right now, if you want any code changes, you can go back to the application and you can either change this is like a simple file, or you can have the changes in the Kubernetes manifest file, you can directly get that. So this is my image, which I'm referring right now, which did it from the CI continuous integration with GitHub Actions. So that's pretty much it for the demo. I'll go back. Christian, you there?
Hey everybody, my name is Christian Arredondo. I'm a program manager on the Code Innovate team, and today I'm going to be giving a little overview of the Code Innovate program. So every year, our manager likes to take his family to Legoland, and one of their favorite activities is this Master Builder class. And how this works is everybody's given a bag of disassembled Legos, and they have an end goal or a technique that they're aimed to learn during this time. In this one, they were learning brick interlocking to create this little penguin here you see at the bottom. So how this works is there's this gentleman in the top right in the green shirt. He's what they call a master builder. And so he has all the base knowledge and skills to help everybody learn hands-on to reach this final end product. So what we've done at Oracle is we've created the Code Innovate program. And what that is it is a 5 half-day online event that helps jumpstart your cloud development. And so what this is essentially like that Lego Master Builder class. We bring our specialists, our engineers, or our master builders, as you would call it, and they're there to help you with hands-on introduction to the cloud services. That way, if you hit any issues or need to know anything a little bit deeper, our specialists are there to help with that. They work online with your team simultaneously to help facilitate rapid knowledge sharing. And this allows for the elimination of any downtime, helps the process keep flowing, and helps keep building as we go through the week. And so what we aim to do is we leverage the use cases you bring to us and help you build those out. So it's your hands on the keyboard, and we're there to drive you, to guide you, to ensure that you're learning and you're building at the same time. And there is no cost attached to this if the minimum requirements are met. And I'll cover those right here. So the Code Innovate requirements is we just ask that your team be at least 4 more developers. These don't need to be complete developers. They could be business users that are working with the product or in your environment daily. We ask for that 20-hour time commitment, or those 5 half days. We ask that you bring your use cases. We want to make sure that we're helping you improve your business, streamline anything you may be working on, and just essentially help you build out what we call a first pass prototype. There is a 3-week lead time that we ask. That way we can work with you, learn anything about your business to ensure that we are giving you the best practices, the best base knowledge, and make sure that we can lead you the correct way. So if you're interested in something like this or working with us as Code Innovate Group, please feel free to email us at codeinnovate_us_grp@oracle.com, or put your emails in the chat and we'll collect those and we can reach out and set up a time where we can work with you. So I'll leave this up for a second, Tara, and pass it back to you.
Great, thank you. And I think we also had a couple people asking in the chat there a little extra demo that we might have some time for, showing from scratch how Sasanka connected GitHub to Argo CDs.
Yeah, I can show you how the Argo CD, I can delete the Argo CD and then I can create back again. So let me share my screen again. So I do have Argo CD. Let me see the restore. So I'm going to, here I have I did the apply command. So I'm going to delete first, which I'm going to delete all the things in the Argo CD right now. Yeah, it's deleted. So I'm going now. If I go back to the kubectl, I didn't delete the namespace. kubectl, okay, ports. See, I don't have anything resources running. So I'm not going to delete the namespaces, which is the first one. I can do the same thing if you want. Yeah, I can go ahead and delete the namespace to make it everything. So now everything is deleted. If I go back, I don't see the namespaces. What I'm trying to do, like I'm create back again. And the next command I'm going to run, it will create all the custom resources and the rollback and the services. Now, if I go back to the namespace is there, and if I get it, I can see all these pods are running right now, and services. It will create another service right now. So we can see like a repo server. I need to get the repo server and change it to the load balancer. That's what I did. Like kubectl. Argo CD server. Here it's got like a cluster IP. I change it to the thing. It's like if I go back here and change the pod. Let me see if I can do it here. Oh, I need to give. Yeah, for I need to edit to make it to the public. So which I already edit the public. That's one I need to check how exactly did, but let me see. Kubectl edit mod. Oh, sorry, it's a service. kubectl get service. Edit. So here I have like a service that I need to expose it as a load balancer. So that's what you need to do to access like here. So right now it's only the cluster IP. So the type I need to change it to the load balancer, which you can do it from kubectl edit the server and open as a load balancer. So that's how normally it works with the Argo CD. So once you have the Argo CDs exposed into the load balancer, you will get it like this. And here I have the application set up because in here for the code by itself, I have like a clone command. First of all, you need to go to the settings, and for the repositories, I need to add this repository here. So like a connect to the repo, and either we can SSH or HTTP or directly via GitHub or a Google Cloud. And you need to give the username for the GitHub. You need to give the username and password and the project. I'll put it as a default. And the repository, giving as the GitHub action. And the username is a GitHub username and the password. So once you have that, these are like you don't want to specify anything. Once you the username and password is there, you can directly connect from here. So that's the I did. Let me cancel. Yeah, okay. So here you can see like my GitHub action. So that's the I normally connect here. So once you have that, you can go to the applications and you can create a new app and give the name and the project name. That'll be like a test, and the project name is the default. And you can either select manual or the automatic. So once you put manual, you need to go here. Again, the synchronization, you need to do like a manual synchronize. Right now, I gave it as a automatically get it. So then you can provide the source URL, which is like setting the settings, GitHub Actions, and the path, the application path. So my path is app. So this is the place you are going to get the destination URL, the cluster URL. Since we already installed this Argo CD in the Kubernetes cluster, this Kubernetes default service, it will take it as a place you can directly go. And if you want, you can make it as a new namespace. And that's, I think these are like if you, these are like, I didn't put any kind of no action items right now, just create. So once you create, you will see the application is synced with the GitHub. And so once you have this one is ready, this is called the CD, continuous deployment process. What I did is like a GitHub Actions. I use, so here till once you have a GitHub action, whenever you have the push, like a latest push, if I go to like change it to 2. So the whenever we have like a git commit ID, it will go here. So that's how it going to work. So whenever we have like a GitHub push command, it will go here. But for the actions, I normally use for the CI/CD process. Here I used to push this to the OCIR. So that's the main thing I added here. So I can share this one with the GitHub repo link, how it's going to work. So basically I add like a command how to do the Docker login and the secrets. And I'm taking the secret things I showed in the environment section, and I try to do the Docker build command. And once you have the Docker build command, I'll push it to the OCIR. So that's pretty much it for the CI/CD pipeline in the sense.
Well, thank you everyone again so much for joining us here today. We'll hop on over to the Slack in case there are any follow-up questions there, but if not, again, yeah, thanks so much for joining us, and we hope to see you again at the next one. Thank you.